Live, Believe Nation, happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day, so I spend the day making videos for you guys. This morning, my wife Nina had to run some errands, so I took the phone, brought it in the car, and started making a whole bunch of videos. I like having one day per week just to worry about my YouTube channel. So this morning was all filming videos, and then this afternoon is going to be strategy and thinking and tinkering and playing and doing a bunch of things all around the YouTube. So this is my break in the middle of everything to chat with you guys, try to hopefully bring some value. But yeah, just one day per week to focus on doing YouTube stuff I find super helpful. So it's gearing my mind super hyper focused. And now let's hopefully bring you guys some value. I see Mark here in the and see how we can help. I'm excited. Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is it. Make it count. Make something out of. Mr. Mark Daniels in the house. How we doing, man?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Mark is part of the Movement Makers program that we got. And it's been a year of doing Movement Makers, which is crazy how time flies.
Yep.
And now he's here joining us. So what do you got, man? How can I help?
Well, I'll tell you a little story about joining Movement Makers. I was on a plane flying back in from New Zealand on March 4th. I should have stayed there. And we were laid over at Texas Airport, and I said, you know, I've been following this guy, Evan Carmichael, and I loved your first book, and I love your second book. It's somewhere behind me. Your one word. And you know, I said, let me just join this Movement Makers group that he's got going. So that's how I connected with you. I know exactly where I was when I hit the submit button and joined the group. I was in an airport in Texas on March 4th on my way back in from New Zealand going to New York City. So
I love it, man. And wow.
So it's been a great year.
Yeah.
You know, you've helped a lot, especially more recently, the challenges. You put out there a challenge for us to record 100 videos. I've recorded at least 40 or 50 of them. I've gotten a lot more comfortable on the camera and just talk openly now. Even though I've run a business companies for 40 years and, you know, had to present to board of directors, I just wasn't comfortable with talking to the camera and getting my eyes on the phone or on the screen. And, you know, I was always trying to read a script. I was terrible my first few videos. You know, so thank you for that. As far as, you know, what I want to learn from you today, I don't know, I've learned so much from you over the last year. Some of the groups I've participated in and others I've been ashamed to admit, been multitasking while I listen to the group and bang out something that I have to get done. So it's been a good year. We're growing rapidly again. We after COVID-19, after the pandemic hit, the business tumbled a little bit. We had about 30% of our clients cancel or who could not pay. And, you know, now we've gone to I'm using ClickFunnels. I think you might use that as well. Mm-hmm. Use ClickFunnels. I run people through what I first called the fast track. Now I'm calling it a master class. And I run them through a 5-day master class on putting together a strategic plan in our platform. At first, I was doing those sessions just with slides. Now I do them live where my face is in the corner all the time.
I love it, dude.
So I have to say that, you know, a lot of that, you know, just watching you and listening to you and the little tips and tricks you gave throughout the year. And by the way, you guys that are listening, this isn't designed to be an infomercial, but slowly but surely over the year, I've picked up different tools that Evan has used. Some of them I've tried and loved. Some of them I've tried and like a tool that I'm using better. But I've actually, you know, picked up almost every week a little tidbit of knowledge and layered it in on top of what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, and what I love is that you're doing it, that you're taking it and you're applying it and I mean, we do the 100 video challenge and you're video 40 and already see a big difference. I love it, dude. I love it. I love that you're presenting live. I love that you've shifted your whole business. Have you included any clips? How long is the master class that you're teaching?
Masterclass, I do a Fast Track Fridays, which is over 1 month, every Friday, for 90 minutes. By the end of the month, you have a strategic plan for your company. The regular masterclass is 5 days in a row, an hour a day, plus about 30 to 60 minutes of homework. I send them out a workbook. Day one, you'd love. I actually mention you during day one now because it's all about your core purpose, your core value, your BHAG. And that aligns a lot with your message. Day one is like, what's your word? What's your passion? Where are you going? And then getting your team aligned with your passion. And then we actually spend the next 3 days putting together a strategic plan. And then in day 5, I really spent a lot of time teaching them the Results BI software and showing them how to execute their plan. Because you can have a plan, but the plan is, trying to think of who said it best. Probably Anthony Robbins who said it? Who said it really, really well? Oh, Stephen Jobs. And you follow him all the time. You might even have a picture of him on the wall behind you. There you go. He said, a plan to me is blah, blah, blah. The execution is worth the millions. The execution is worth the millions. And what I find with companies that I'm working with is so many of them have a plan. I was working with a young fashion designer in London last week. And I said, have you ever put together a plan, Megan? And she said, well, yeah, I hired a consultant to put one together 4 years ago. And she opens her desk drawer, pulls it out, and waves it in front of me. So many people put together a plan, but then fail to execute it. So on the day 5 of the either master class or fast track, I really work on execution. And it's a simple formula, really. It's really simple. I call it the results formula. Intention is what you do in the first week of your quarter. And then you give that intention the attention it deserves for the next 12 weeks. That's intention times attention to the 12th equals results. Simple formula, but so many people, they put together the plan and they stop.
And so where do you, thinking about the next year ahead, what's the execution that you need to do or need help with, or I can give some feedback on?
Really growth of my list. Where I could use help right now, my LinkedIn list is about 7,000. I've done some posts to Instagram, but I'm limited in the length of the post. So I really have to grow my Instagram audience. My Facebook audience is growing. I just need to grow my exposure. I have a book coming out in August. It's called Execute.
I like it. It fits.
And it's not about killing people. It's about execution, baby. It's all about executing your business plan. That's your one word is my one word. In fact, really, that's where I got my one word from. Is from reading your first book. My one word. My word came off as execution.
So what is the content you're putting up right now, especially on LinkedIn?
I put up a daily on LinkedIn and YouTube. My YouTube audience is terrible. So on YouTube right now, I put up a daily execution tip, 4 minutes long. It's real quick and to the point. My execution tip for today. Once a week on the execution tip, I pull a book off my shelf and promote, use a quote from a book and, use that as the basis of my execution tip. But typically it's,
same thing or something else?
Same thing on LinkedIn and YouTube. I find myself trying to get, 5 recordings done in an afternoon and I get 3 done. So I'm getting better at it. So, and I'm not as picky as I was in the beginning because, well, first off, they're coming out better right off the get-go. So I don't spend a lot of time editing. You should go check one out at some point in time and give me some feedback. I'd love your feedback on it.
People in the chat.
YouTube channel's Results BI.
Okay, people are asking in the chat, what's his YouTube channel? So there you go, Results BI, B, the letter B, and then the letter I.
Yeah, as in business intelligence.
So, you know, the thing I love to preach is whatever you want to make money doing, show me the process of you doing it. So I love that you're doing the 100 video challenge. I would try to make slightly longer videos. I'd be trying to play in the 8 to 10 minute range and just take people deeper, especially in the YouTube environment. Just 4 minutes is really hard to rank a video in thought leadership. So I'd be looking at how do I extend it by just take them deeper, tell another story, tell a client story, tell me. I mean, you've seen it all. You've worked with so many companies and so many entrepreneurs. Just take me a little bit deeper and make the content a little richer to extend the time. I'd love to.
People will. Well, you've had so much experience at this. Do they listen to the long videos?
Oh yeah. YouTube that's it. It's long videos. Like we're getting some of our best results on 3-hour videos.
Oh gosh. So my thinking is, you might not know him. He's a fellow author, Donald Miller. My Story Brand is a book he wrote. He does, you know, he does a 4-minute video every morning that he emails to his clients. It's sort of like a pep talk. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite books of all time is Ogilvy on Advertising, famous advertising guy in the 80s, 70s and 80s and 60s. And he said, my best ideas are somebody else's stolen, made better. So, so I've sort of followed Donald Miller's approach and kept them short and sweet, but that might work for a quick daily email, but I'll try doing longer formats for YouTube.
As long as it's value, if you're this is where someone like you can win, because a lot of people have a hard time making an 8 to 10 minute video because they're going to repeat themselves 4 times saying the same thing. You could easily go 8 minutes you can go 2 hours without ever having to repeat.
I have, you know, you have sound bites. So, you know, I can string 20 sound bites together and
like you think about what your sound bite's going to be, and that's the lead of the video, right? The powerful opinion. You lead with the sound bite, and then the rest of the video is just taking me deeper inside it. Like, what does that mean? Tell me a story. Give me advice. That's easy 8 to 10 minute video. And then I like posting on LinkedIn. I think that's a great audience for you. LinkedIn is more short-term. YouTube is more long-term in terms of driving attention, awareness, traffic, all that. So it's good to repurpose and post to both. Just longer, 8 to 12 minutes. And then what I would do is add, again, whatever you want to make money doing, show me the process of you doing it. So I would love to see you, if your goals are now, I want to get people into my masterclass, right? I want more masterclass members, and I want to start getting attention for my book. Even though it's August, it's not too soon to start thinking about.
Oh, I know. No, I want to get attention to. I want to bring a lot of attention to the book right now.
So the 2 things I would do is, I would look at, if your masterclass is 90 minutes long, can you take an 8 to 10 minute clip?
Oh yeah.
Your YouTube channel and LinkedIn.
Yeah, I can cut and paste slide decks that I have that'll make it really interesting.
Well, and people are paying for the masterclass, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
Paying for the masterclass, and then they get a subscription to our software. They get 90 days free to the software or 60 days free to the software, and then they have a subscription to the software. After that, they start to get billed $7.95. And my real approach, Evan, is, you know, people right now, for small businesses anyway, they cannot afford to go out and hire a $5,000 or $10,000 consultant. And maybe you don't want to hear that because you might be making fees, or some consultants don't like my message because I'm a disruptor, right? Nobody knows your business better than you do. Nobody. So what our software does is gives you the framework to put together a strategic plan without the cost of a $5,000 or $10,000 year consultant, which a lot of businesses can't afford anymore. So my message is real simple. My goal is to, I charge for the I charge for the master class or for the fast track, whatever I'm calling it. I'm testing both of those names right now. I want to see which one pulls the best. So, you know, people, I want to charge for that because, you know, people don't see the value if they're not paying $9 or $10 or $20.
Yeah.
I want people that are committed. Eventually, you know what that's going to be replaced with? The book.
Are you
Buy the
going
book,
to
right?
do?
Yeah. So, you know, get the book. I'll give it to you for free. You just pay the shipping and handling, right?
Okay, so do you do coaching as well?
I do very selective coaching because I'm really trying to grow the repeating revenue in the background. Okay. I want to get to 200,000 customers by 2025. I'm already at 2,500 and growing.
Yeah, that's
so
doable.
I want to get to 200,000 companies using our software by 2025. Okay. So if I focus too much of my effort on doing coaching or consulting, it'll totally pull me away. And I can make a lot of money coaching.
The only coaching I would suggest doing is for public consumption. Like this, like what we're doing right now. Where but we're flipped. Like you're on top and you're bringing people in and you're helping them with their business. More for brand building and for like, this guy really cares. This guy's got great knowledge and I want to dive into his book and his software. Not if you want to keep any of them as clients afterwards or be super selective or just not even do coaching afterwards, fine. This is more a concept for content.
Right.
So I love what you're doing right now with your videos, the daily execution challenge or vibe or message or whatever. Just, you know, 8 to 10
daily
minutes.
Execution tip is what I call it. And
right. But like 8 to 10 minutes, keep doing that. But we can scale back even on doesn't have to be daily, because I'd love to make room for one video. You do your thing every Friday, your masterclass?
I do a month-long one on Fridays.
Okay.
And then I do a weekly one. Like next week, I'm doing it to England and Europe, England and Ireland. The week after, I'm doing it to Australia and New Zealand. And the week after, I'm doing it to the US and Canada.
Right.
So I run 5 days in a row, 3 weeks out of every month.
But is it exact same content presentation or is there interaction or what?
There's interaction now. There wasn't interaction in the beginning.
Okay.
When I first started this. So now I have live interaction with the audience, which is great. And that's working out really well.
That might even be the coaching video. You may not have to even do something like this, but I would love to see you take at least once a week, 8 to 10 minute clip from that masterclass and post it to LinkedIn and YouTube. You're already making the content, right? Now you just have to record, and maybe you're already recording it. So now it eases the burden of you making content. Like that's one less video that you have to make pre-recorded that you're already pulling from. Maybe two, like if you pull one from the content and one from the Q&A interaction, and then at the end of the video, or so even not quite at the end, but in the middle somewhere, you can say, hey, this is part of my masterclass training. If you want to join the next event, check the description below and sign up. So we're getting
that's good. Great idea.
People prepped, and it's content that you're already using. You've already done it. You're doing it anyway. So it's bonus content, and we're driving people to sign up for your next masterclass. I would do a series of you demoing the software and how valuable it is. Not making it a pitch for the software, but if you're saying one of the biggest problems entrepreneurs face is they don't know how to plan. So I'm going to show you right now how to create the perfect plan. Let me load my software. This is what we use for all of our clients. And then it's a screen share of you with your face in the side, but then you're filling out. So let's say we're working with Phil, who's got a flower shop. And Phil's goal is XYZ. And like, I see you actually using the software.
Right.
And in the middle of that video, it's like, and you guys, if you like this software, it costs X a month. And we got a offer right now. Check the link in the description below. You can go sign up. And then you keep talking about like demoing the actual tool, because that's ultimately your goal. Your goal isn't just be a YouTube influencer. We're trying to get people into our software program.
Right.
So I would love to see a weekly series from you screen sharing using a software, and not like a how-to. People ask me, how do I, like, not a help desk thing. The value that it actually brings potential customers, like what's the problem that it solves, and it solves multiple.
Right. And I actually go through that. That's great, because I do what I call it the R5 methodology: plan, share. You got to share your plan with your teams. You got to excite them and motivate them, and then you pick 3 quarterly strategic projects, and you execute them and track them, and then you repeat it all over again. That's 5 steps, 5 simple steps. And when you get in the cadence of doing that quarter after quarter after quarter, that's how I've grown. In the last company, I sold my last company for $941 million. So, you know, and it was just the cadence of doing that.
It might even be different industries, to be honest. I mean, everybody can use it, right? You're trying to hit this.
Oh yeah, I hit everybody. I hit everybody, but I'm really focused on small to medium businesses, the people I think that can't afford the expensive consultant, the people that, you know, right now with you know, people trying to come back from COVID and the pandemic, the financial crisis, you know, they need help. So I'm really focused on bringing my methodology to them, because it doesn't have to be hard. It's actually very easy.
So
planning isn't hard.
What's your number one industry from your clients?
Right now, primarily construction, oddly enough. You know, but all different types of constructions, whether it's you know, whether it's a lumber yard, or whether it's a construction company, or a company that's doing, you know, I have a scrap metal company. It's really a real interesting mix. But the number one, the number 2 used to be hotels. We had a lot of hotels and motels. I had about 1/3 of those drop off. So
I'm going to give you a special strategy that I don't usually recommend, which is search. YouTube search is not usually one that I recommend, but could be really great for you. I would love to see you do a weekly video where you walk through your 5-step process for different industry every week.
Oh, wow.
So you do the construction industry, like how to create the perfect plan for a construction company. And then you make the video and you show me, and you have dummy data. Let's say you're starting Joe's Construction, and then it's a screen share view of the software. And then people will search, like they're going to YouTube the search. How do I business planning construction company? And then boom, there's your video. And then next week is how to start a whatever, right? You take your top industries, and there's so many that you can cover. You have 52 industries easy.
Oh, so, easy. It's really confusing to see how many industries there are. So
every week, you make a new video of how you're helping people plan. And there's value in the video itself. It's not just a sales pitch, but if I want to go deeper, here's the software and how to sign up and how valuable it's going to help me. I would love to see you make a weekly video.
I like that too, because it allows me to test different verticals that I should be promoting or advertising. So if I get a good response in any one of those verticals, then I can ride that harder. So that's really a great idea, Evan.
Yeah, like Pauline in the chat saying right now, would love to see it for the holistic business. Right? So I mean, it's still the same process. It's still the same methodology. It's still the same 5 steps for every business that you go through. But when it feels customized to me, how to plan for your holistic business in 2021. And there you are. You're on camera and you're walking through the tool. And if Pauline sees that and is like, wow, that tool, I need that tool. That's super helpful, right? And even if she doesn't buy it, it's still massive value because you're educated and teaching through the 5-step process. But for anybody who wants to go deeper, and the software costs nothing, right? I mean, how much is the software?
$7.95 per month per user. So, right. You know, somebody like a business might be paying $7 for it. And I do it in 6 different currencies too. So yeah. I do it in Canadian currency too, Evan.
Hey now, you like that? Yeah. So I love the videos you're doing now. I would just swap out 2 of them per week and make one, this new idea of a weekly one around our customers, how to plan for the X industry. and then 2, highlights from the masterclass and inviting people to join the next one so that it becomes lead gen for you and not just brand building.
Right. Okay. Great. Well, thank you. You got another book coming?
Not yet, but the way I work is I said no second book. No second book with the publisher. That's not happening. And then inspired, have to go do this.
So I also, you may or may not know this, I signed my son up. He's in your he's in your class now, or in your group every week.
Yeah.
And he's taken all of my copies of my book, because I've given them to him, except that you sent me a new one autographed by you. So now I have Built to Serve back on my shelf again.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, cool. It's been great catching up. I love
Yep.
seeing the progress and super pumped for the year ahead. And we'll see you soon inside Movement Makers.
Yep. Okay. See you.
All right.
Thank you, Evan.
Take care.
Bye-bye.